going to start learning some shading techniques, and we're going to go through each one of these. And so we're going to start here with shading, smudging, blending, whatever you want to call this. But we're going to start just with a pencil. Okay, and I want you to go dark to light across. So when you color in something dark, you want to press a little harder, and then you ease up that pressure. So each square here should look a little different. It should be getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. Now the last one, I don't want you to leave that white. I still want to see some marks, but as light as you can make them, so you might not even see them on the camera. And then go back and evaluate. Is this the darkest? Does it really look? Are two of them too close? Maybe I need to go back. Now, to make things darker, I can make another layer. I can go on top, just change the direction to push that even further into dark. Okay, and this one, for this one only, it says use a blending stump. So this is a blending stump, and what it does is it softens all of the marks that you make so they become really, really fuzzy. Now I wouldn't go crazy with the blending stump because you don't want it all to become the same color gray. And then it says practice, shade in this sphere using this technique. So a sphere is going to have a shadow over here on this side. Like this is if the light's coming in from this direction. And notice how I'm shading this in following the curve of the sphere. We're trying to make it look 3D. So we want to show light and shadow. Back here it's a little lighter. This is going to be reflected light. And then I'm going to leave just a little highlight in there. Alright, so now you want to take that blending stump and you want to smooth this all out the best that you can while still trying to maintain all the values. So you still want to see the light, the medium, the dark. Next one is a pencil as well, but this is called hatching. So the marks go in one direction. So they could go vertical, they could go horizontal, they could go diagonal, however you want to do it. So I'll just go horizontal for the video here. Now, it has to go dark to light. I only can do horizontal hatching marks. So I can't go on it a different direction. So that means I have to make a lot of hatching marks close together, and I need to have the heavy pressure. And then as you go across, you can space them out a little bit more and then lighten up your pressure as well. All right, and then you want to shade in this using your hatching marks. Now this is going to be a little tricky because it is a small shape, but I'm only allowed to use one direction of line. So that's a little bit of a challenge. Now how do you make that work? Because sometimes when we make art and you can see all the marks that the artist make, sometimes it looks pretty cool. We like seeing how the artist made that work. Where this is trying to like hide everything. This one we want to see it. So do not use a blending stump for this one. This one we want to see the strokes. Alright, so next we're going to move on to crayons. We're going to change media here. And it says vary the pressure. So I'm just going to color in, and it's going to be very similar to that top one. This one I'm going to press hard. Don't press so hard you break your crayon. Go in different directions. You want to make sure this is your like darkest version of the crayon. Alright, and just lighten it up. So here you can see how you can show value with crayons. Crayons can go dark to light, just like pencils can. And then go ahead and shade in this sphere with a crayon and see if you like that technique. So just vary the pressure. Press hard, press light. That's what you got to do with crayon. Alright, next is colored pencils. So this says build up the layers. So what does it mean by build up the layers? So I just colored this in vertically. I'm going back over it again. I could go over it again. I can change directions. Build it up, build it up, build it up. So that way this becomes nice and vibrant. So this I like you to keep going on top of it for the dark, and then once you move into the light you don't necessarily need to show that as much. So that's what I mean by building up layers. Just keep going on top, on top, on top. And then go ahead and shade in your sphere here. Now the other thing I want to show you with colored pencil is you can grab a different color and that can help show darks too. So you can layer different colors on top. So here I have like a blue that I'm putting onto this red, and blue plus red equals violet. So it's making the shadow even deeper. And this, I use this technique a lot when I color with colored pencils. I build up my layers of different colors. So there you go. Building up layers with the same color or adding different colors. And then last we're gonna do oil pastels. So this one's a little different. I want you to choose your color. I want you to color in the middle square. I want you to press hard so we don't really see the white. We don't want this to look like the crayon. Oil pastels can fill in a lot better than crayons can. Be careful. So this we do pure color, okay? And it says we're gonna use white and black. So down here I want us to use black, and then up here we'll use white. White and black create value, darks and lights. Obviously black is gonna make things heavier, it's gonna be darker. White is gonna make it lighter. Now black is a very, very powerful color. So this is my darkest box. So I'm gonna use black here. And I'm gonna not fill it in quite all the way because I don't want it to look too dark, but I'm gonna layer my color on top of this black, and now it's gonna look like a darker version of the pure color. Now on the camera it does appear almost black, but when I see it in person it's like a dark brown versus just a black. Because a black can sometimes be too harsh, so it's better just to darken it with the color with the black. Now this one I'm gonna do less black, more color, so it appears a little lighter. Your oil pastel might get messy, so if you have like a scrap sheet of paper, I like to just kind of wipe off some of the icky stuff. And now let's move on to white. I like to actually start with my color, and so we don't want it to get too white too quick. So notice how I didn't color it in too hard. And I take the white and I'm gonna layer the white on top. Now I've created a nice lighter version, and if you need to put a little more color in, put a little more color in, because I do feel I got a little too light too fast. Less color, more white. All right, now this is gonna be the trickiest one to color in because these are pretty chunky. So just try your best. It's okay if you get outside the lines a little bit. So I'm gonna make this dark, mixing with black. I'll make that regular. I'll put a little here, and then I'll mix with some white. Okay, so here is a variety of shading techniques, and incorporate these into your future artworks.